Welcome to BPTV. I'm your host, Andy Amrine, and this is Around Town with Andy Amrine. What we're going to be doing on this show is talking to the young Marines, both the coordinators, the adults of it, but also I'm anxious to meet the young Marines itself. Find out a little bit about what the program is, what's it about, what the age group is, and just find out all the details. So stay tuned to BPTV. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm your host, Andy Amrine, and we're out here at the Veterans Memorial at the Bethel Park Municipal Building. I appreciate you watching BPTV, and this is another in our series of Around Town with Andy Amrine. And today I'm very thrilled to be talking to our coordinators for the Young Marines, an organization that's been around for many, many, many years, and we're really curious to see what's going on with them today.
From left to right, count. Up.
1,
2,
3 left Marine.
5,
5, 6 left Marine.
7 left Marine.
So, welcome to our Veterans Memorial out here. I'm sure that
Thank you very much,
you
Andy.
guys have
Yeah.
spent quite a bit of time out here over the years, but how about starting with an introduction? Telling us who you are and a little bit about each other.
Okay, my name's Gary Woodside. I'm the unit commander for the Keystone Young Marines. I've been with the unit commander for a little over a year now, and just helping get involved with the Young Marines, getting them up to speed on our programs.
Okay, how about a little bit of background on yourself?
Okay, I'm with the National Credit Union Administration as an examiner. I'm retiring in December this year. I'm a certified fraud examiner, a certified certified accountant, management accountant.
But
And I've
you spent time in the Marines.
I spent 3 years in the Marines. I did a tour in Vietnam, and then 2 years as a Marine Guard in Yokosuka, Japan.
Wonderful. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And how did you get recruited to help out with the Young Marines?
Well, I got involved with the Marine Corps League, who sponsors the Young Marines. Through them, I became the assistant commandant for the detachment here, and then was asked to invited to join the Young Marines.
Okay.
So,
How about yourself?
Hi, I'm Bettina Radcliffe, and I'm the Adjutant Paymaster for Keystone Young Marines, our local unit. I've been involved with the program since its inception back in 1996.
Amazing.
It's hard to believe. Seen a lot of good kids come and go through the program, and I'm excited to talk about this is kind of Pittsburgh's little secret, so we need to get it out.
Well, what got you first involved with the Young Marines?
Well, my son was in 5th grade and came home when he was 10 and said I joined the Young Marines, and my mother started to cry because my brother was drafted into the Marine Corps in 1965 right out of high school. And I said, wait, he's only 10, let's find out what this is about. So
Right.
That's what started it. I had 2 children in the program, and I've always had an interest in things like that. We do a lot of outdoor activities and all the things and it to this day keeps me off the couch, so I'm ready to do whatever they're interested in pursuing.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what the Young Marines are, what they do. There's probably a lot of misconception out there about what the Young Marines are. Now, what age, let's start with the age. What age do you have Young Marines? Are they middle school, high school, elementary? Where do you usually start?
Nationally, they can recruit children ages 8 through high school, as long as
Okay.
they're attending a school. That's the amazing part about the program, that we find a program that works for that wide range of an
There's
age group,
quite
and they
a
learn to
variety.
work together. And one of the really neat parts about the program is the fact that they mentor each other. You know, the adults are not running the program, it's the youth. So they earn rank, and they head up their groups, and they have squads, so that's the most interesting part, because we have kids at all ages at different ranks. So, just because you're 8 doesn't mean you aren't in charge of someone maybe older than you, and it just gives them a lot to look forward to and make them feel responsible.
And this is for both young men and women.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Well, how about some typical activities? How often do you meet? Is it it's once a week, once a month? Let's start with how often do you meet?
we meet every week except for the first week of the month is when the Marine Corps League meets.
Okay.
We meet for roughly 2 hours every week. We start out with drill. Our drill starts out with calling attention We do a head count. Everyone signs in. The Marines do their pledge, and they do their creed
And their obligation.
and
right.
their obligations. We do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we break
Sorry,
down
guys.
for daily activity or for the drill activities.
Okay, so after the calling the meeting to order and what you do, what do you generally do for an evening? Or because you meet on Wednesday?
Yeah,
Wednesday
we
You
evening.
meet Wednesday
Yes.
evening?
Yeah.
And you
6:30
meet
to
at the
9.
Castle Shannon Municipal Building.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Castle Shannon Borough Building on McRoberts Road in Castle Shannon. We use their gymnasium. And typically a drill consists of, like Gary said, the creed and the obligation, the Pledge of Allegiance, and then they break down. And a lot of times they do some physical fitness of some sort. Sometimes it's fun PT, sometimes it's the daily 7 stretching or whatnot. There's some type of a classroom activity. We try to get the kids outside as much as we can. In fact, in the summertime, we drilled at Hamilton Park instead of the Borough Building because they have a walking trail there and an exercise trail, and we do a quarterly physical fitness test with them, so the kids like to be outside, during the nice weather. So we try to do that. And we also use South Park for some activities as well.
All right, tonight we're here at the Castle Shannon Municipal Building, and we're going to spend the evening with the Young Marines. We talked about who they are, what they are, but now we want to see just what the Young Marines do during their regular weekly meetings. So let's take a look and let's meet some of the Young Marines.
Marines, call in. 10, 9, 8,
It's been a big help.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are done.
We're going to meet our Young Marines now, so why don't we start? How about introducing yourself? Give us your name and your rank.
I'm Luciano, and I am a private, Young Marine private.
How long have you been in the Young Marines?
About 2 years.
What do you like about the Young Marines?
Is that they teach you a healthy, drug-free lifestyle.
And you like that?
Yes, sir.
How long are you going to be in the Young Marines now? Forever?
Yes.
That's the plan. Okay.
My name is Kiara Rocco, and I'm a Lance Corporal in the Young Marines.
Okay. How long have you been a Marine?
I've been a Young Marine for about 3 years.
Okay. And what made you join the Young Marines?
My older 3 siblings actually joined first, and they really enjoyed it, so I thought I would try. And now my younger brother is in it too. So
And you're enjoying it?
yes,
Are you better than your older siblings now?
I probably shouldn't say that.
Okay, I'm just teasing you. That's fine. Anything else you want to say about the Young Marines?
I really enjoy it because they teach you a healthy, drug-free life, but also there's a social aspect. You make friends, and I really like that about it.
My name is Gianni Rocco, and I'm a private in the Young Marines.
Okay. How long have you been a private?
About 2 years.
2 years? Okay. And what got you to join?
My older 4 siblings were in the program, so I decided, just like my older sister, that I would give it a try, and it worked out well.
Okay. So you enjoy it?
Very much.
Okay. You enjoy having your siblings in the Young Marines too?
Yeah, it's
Are
pretty
they
fun.
helpful?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Okay, good. Anything else you want to say about the Young Marines?
I just like the Young Marines because there's a bunch of community service aspects in the program, so you go around a lot and do a lot of new things.
And what's one of the favorite things you've done so far?
We just did something downtown in Oakland called the Vietnam Veterans Vigil, where we do a table ceremony at about 7 p.m. And that's pretty fun because you get to see all the Vietnam veterans.
Nice. Do you have anything coming up in the next month or two? Do you know that the Young Marines are doing?
I don't know.
Okay, they haven't told you that yet?
Not really.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Okay. Besides your weekly meeting, what kind of activities are we talking about?
We've been doing parades. We've done 3 parades this year.
Okay.
This past Saturday, we had the Young Marines do a POW table at the Vietnam Veterans
The
Memorial
vigil.
and Legion in Oakland.
Okay.
Right.
Marvelous.
So that went from 7 to 9, and they did a very nice job of setting the table during the presentation, explaining each part they're doing. And they were our youngest Young Marines, so that was their first time doing it. So it was a nice experience for them. But they stepped up to the bat and did it.
It sounds like the organization runs similar parallel to Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts.
Very much
You're
so.
doing weekly meetings, and then
Yeah.
you have your activities outside of your meetings, whether
Correct.
it's
It has a little bit-
camping or
Right,
activities
it has
with
a little
the-
more of a military flair
military
to it
background.
because
Yeah,
the
right.
uniform is a military uniform, but very similar to the Boy Scouts. We always consider us as Boy Scouts on steroids
Okay.
because we are a little tighter with our discipline, a little bit more, where someone would observe us, but the majority of our time is spent with community service opportunities.
Okay.
Community service is a big thing, honoring our veterans, teaching the kids to give back to their community. In addition to the parades that we assist our Marine Corps League with several color guards. The POW MIA table that we mentioned is where they set the table. I don't know if you've ever seen the MIA
have.
table. They set it as almost like a play where they set all the items on the table and they read it. And we've had several groups call upon our unit to do that, perform that at a special event.
Well, you work closely then with the Marine Corps League then?
We do,
Yeah,
definitely.
so they're constantly, do you have a student, a member that is a liaison between the two? Or?
Actually, no. Gary and myself are members of
okay.
the Marine Corps
Members,
League, and just recently, two of our former young Marines have joined after they got out of the Marine Corps, or they're in the Marine Corps. So
Have any of your young Marines actually gone on into military career?
they have. We've had 3
Yes.
in a row so far this year. Over the years, like I said, it was a small percent, believe it or not. I think a lot of people think
Because well, it's not your focus though.
Right, we're not
Right, right,
recruiting
yeah.
for the Marines,
Right.
right. But if they do go in, there's a benefit to that because most of them already know all the drill movements and the lingo, and they do very well in boot camp. They usually end up coming out of boot camp as a PFC. They do very well. So that makes us proud too.
It should,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it does.
A lot of the stuff that you guys learned here definitely does help. So depending on when you ship and like when you leave can have an effect on things. So since I left in the summer, we had our sleeves up a lot. So I already knew how to roll sleeves. So that kind of like boosted me up a little bit in my platoon when I was there. It was kind of funny because I would always like try and help kids roll their sleeves in the middle of the night. And I would always like ask for stuff, and sometimes I'd get it like, hey man, if you roll my sleeves for me, I'll take your shift on fire watch for the next 2 days. So I got some stuff out of it, but it was nice.
I'm Young Marine PFC Pava.
Okay, and how long have you been a young Marine?
Probably two years now.
2 years? And what made you join?
I wanted to be United States Marine Corps Infantry.
Okay, and you gonna see that come true?
Yes, I will try to make that happen.
What grade are you in now in school?
11th grade.
Okay, so you have another year?
Yep,
Okay, and you think this is helping you, it's preparing you for joining the Marines?
most definitely it is
Okay.
helping me.
So did you know of this group from a friend or something, or what? How did you find the Young Marines?
My mom found the Young Marines at doing a table ceremony at, I believe, Jefferson Memorial,
Okay,
and she knew that I wanted to be a Marine, so she thought this would be a
this
great
would
program.
be a good step for you on it,
Mhm.
because most of the Young Marines I've met start at a younger age than what you did. Did that hold you back, thinking that it's too late to join?
No.
So Young Marines can join at any age is, I guess, what I'm driving at. It doesn't matter if you're in 8th grade or 10th grade or 6th grade. You could still be joining the Young Marines.
Yeah, you can join the Young Marines 8 and up.
Okay. And what have you enjoyed the most in the couple of years that you've been a Young Marine?
The exercising, the friendship, and the encampments,
The encampments?
That we've been
What
to.
part of the encampments did you like the best?
the activities that we did.
Okay. What was one favorite? What's one that stands out?
A sumo wrestling thing with those like bouncy.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
Now, did you get knocked out, or did you knock the other ones out?
only once or twice I got knocked
And it was
out.
the little kids that knocked you out?
No, it was one kid who was my size.
Okay. He just had the right angle.
Yeah.
It was all geometry. Okay.
I am Young Marine Sergeant Rorio.
Okay. And how long have you been a Marine?
I've been a Young Marine for about 4 to 5 years now.
Okay. And What got you interested in?
What got me interested was I saw our unit commander now, Mr. Donley. He was in the auditorium at my school, and
Okay.
he was presenting what the Young Marines was. And I've always wanted to be a Marine since I was like 9 years old.
Okay.
So I was about 13 at the time. I was like, this looks like a pretty good program. So I contacted them, went through boot camp, and now it's 5 years later, and now I'm
Okay.
a sergeant.
And you're a sergeant in it?
Yes, sir.
And as a sergeant, what are your responsibilities?
My responsibilities is to make sure everyone's in order, make sure I'm here for every drill, make sure I keep everyone basically in line. I'm basically responsible for all these Young Marines here, and responsible to make them replace my position and be better Young Marines.
And what grade are you in school?
I'm in 12th grade.
Okay. And what are your plans next year?
Next year in June, I'm leaving for the Marine Corps. Right now, I'm either doing infantry security forces or driving trucks, but the Marine Corps, really gets the overall say. And
Yeah, they'll pick that for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with somebody watching this show who's thinking of becoming a young Marine, what would you tell them?
I would say do it. Like, even if
Why?
you don't want
Why
to.
would they want to do it?
Well, even if you don't want to join the military, which most Young Marines here either want to or have an interest, even if you don't, I would still say do it, because you get all that community service. I know I probably have over 100 hours in the 5 years I've been here.
Okay.
And it's better for, like, not doing drugs, not doing alcohol, all that bad stuff throughout your high school career, because that can ruin pretty much everything in your high school career.
So do you think the young Marines have given you confidence in yourself?
Absolutely, I would say so. I'm a better public speaker now. I can be up here right now in front of a camera and not be scared to talk to anyone about it. It definitely made me better physically, mentally, and got me prepared to join the Marines and be better in the outside world.
So you weren't this confident 5 years ago before
Absolutely
you joined the
not.
Marines? No?
Not at all,
You
sir.
were just blended in like a wallflower and nobody knew who you were.
Yes, sir. I was pretty much just blended in like every other person at my school. But
And
no.
how has that changed now that you're a senior in high school?
It makes me more, I would say, adapted to the environment, like more knowledgeable. Makes me more sociable, and if I have like a project in class or something, I can definitely use that public speaking aspect we teach here and talk in front of a lot of people with confidence.
In school itself, do you think you stand out a little better than just the rest of the crowd just because of the confidence you have in yourself?
I would say so, especially with nowadays in schools with people doing a lot of drugs and alcohol in schools. I would say, since I don't do it at all, that it makes you a better person, makes you stand out more, makes you unique.
Don't buckle under peer pressure.
Absolutely.
You're your own person.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the story and thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, sir, for coming out.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
I'll tell you, the program is really popular with the homeschool children because it fits their physical fitness and their, their relationship with other youths and things. So that's been popular among the homeschool.
Does your troop
kids.
take trips?
We do.
Okay.
It's been a while since we took one. We've been to Washington D.C. when they presented the World War II memorial. We marched in the National Parade. We've been whitewater rafting. We've done a lot of things over the years. Of course, the pandemic has kind of shut things down a little bit, and we're kind of cramped. And we always tell the kids, the fun comes with the work too. So there's times where they don't always want to hit the books. They don't always want to do the work, but we try to make it fun. The one big thing I can honestly say I'm most excited about is the Brotherhood of the Marine Corps is really instilled in the Young Marines program. These kids get to be great friends. They're friends for a long time. No one calls anybody an idiot. Nobody's, you know what I mean? They're mentoring. We had a parent one time, they were amazed when we were doing our physical fitness. Some little guys were doing their 1 mile run, and our older guys were running backwards next to them, encouraging them to run. And they were like, you don't see that very often. That's something that's really needed in this world today. So that Brotherhood of the Marine Corps to me is so important in the Young Marines program.
What are the few of the things you're proudest about with the Young Marines? that you see with them of being in the Marines and now mentoring young Marines? What are some of the things that you
I
see
think the
that
biggest
you're
thing is their
proudest with?
leadership development. We have a lot of, like the one young Marine who did the reading at the POW, he'd never read in front of a crowd before. And so we coaxed him into being the reader. We went through 3 trials till he got comfortable with it. And he went up and he said he was really happy he did it. And
How old is he?
he's
16.
16.
Yeah.
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 Okay. And what we do on our drills, we try to rotate around so we don't have one person, the drill sergeant. We have them take turns being the drill sergeant so they get the practice of giving commands and learning from their mistakes. So I think the biggest thing is just their leadership ability and their teamwork and their discipline.
Yeah.
Marine Lance Corporal Rocco is D. What's our next exercise? Next exercise of Marine Corps Daily 7 will be side straddle hops. This is a 4-count exercise. I count the cadence, you count the repetition. Ready, positions, move. Ready, exercise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
My name is Young Marine Lance Corporal Rocco.
Okay. How long have you been a young Marine?
I've been a Young Marine for 5 years.
Okay. And what got you interested in being a young Marine?
My other 2 siblings were joining with me, so I wanted to join with them and see what it was going to be like.
Okay. And what have you enjoyed in this 5 years? What do you enjoy about it?
I've really enjoyed the camaraderie, the different friends I like to think I've made. All the activities we did, the overnighters, the community service, it's all been really awesome.
Okay. What was one of your favorite activities in those 5 years? Which one stands out in your mind?
We did an encampment probably 2 or 3 years ago at this point, and it was really fun. We did a lot of really cool stuff while we were there.
Okay. Was this just with your young Marines?
Just with our unit, yes.
Okay. Very good.
My name is Young Marine Lance Corporal Rocco A., and I've been a Young Marine for 5 years.
5 years too? Okay.
Yes.
And what got you interested in it?
Mostly the same reason as my
Siblings?
brother. Yes.
Okay. And in those 5 years, what's one of your favorite events?
I like when we go down to Brentwood and we do the parade there from 4th of July. Yes.
Okay, very good.
I am Young Marine Lance Corporal Calendar.
Okay. How long have you been a young Marine?
I've been here for 5 years.
5 years too? Good.
Yeah.
And what was one of the favorite things you've done in the 5 years?
We done an encampment. It's not the same exact one that Rocco Diaz been to. It was like a year ago.
Okay. And what did you do at this encampment that you enjoyed?
There was some fun activities that we did, and at the very end there was this final thing where you got medals.
Okay.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah. Do you remember one of the activities that you enjoyed during that encampment the most?
I'd say the one that I enjoyed the most was sumo.
And what is that?
So what happened in sumo is that there's these inflatable things that you go into.
Okay.
And whenever you were in them, you would try and knock the other person out of the ring, or you would just try and knock them out of the ring. That's
right.
it.
Did you?
Yes, I actually knocked a few people out of the ring.
Good for you. All right. Anything else coming up in the next year that you could share with us that you know, or you don't know what's next on your agenda?
There's nothing that I really know.
Okay. Very good. All right, guys. Thank you.
I always say the program brings the hero out in every young Marine. It teaches them to defend themselves properly. Another thing, our number one focus is drug demand reductions. We do a lot of drug demand training, teaching them how to deal with things that are out there, the peer pressures and and the bullying is a big thing. We teach them cyber safety on the internet. I mean, there's so many things in the program that help these kids become young adults, becoming a good citizen, their moral ethics, I know a lot of the parents just say they see a big difference in their children having themselves together. We tell them there's no mothers in Young Marines, no fathers, you're on your own. You have to have your uniform squared away, and it's amazing to me to see 8-year-olds learn to pay so much attention to detail at such a young age. It's such a benefit later in life, for them.
What are the variance of ages you currently have in that?
We have, I think our youngest is probably 10 now.
Okay.
And then we have one that's 18. So
Okay.
the most popular age range nationally is around 10, 11, 12, you know. And we've got athletes, we've got kids that do play a sport and still do the program. That's a excused absence from the program if they're playing, you know, in football or basketball or whatever it is. We encourage it. So it's not something, but it does take a lot of
something
commitment.
you try and filter around their school schedule.
Absolutely. Try to make it work.
Make everything work.
Yeah, this summer we had 2 young Marines that were lifeguards. So we had to work around their schedule so that they could attend drills and participate.
Right.
It's worthwhile to do, to
Sure.
work around their schedules itself.
Yep.
So with the, you know, somebody watching, interested and so forth, you're looking for more young Marines now?
We're looking for young Marines. We're always recruiting. We used to only recruit once or twice a year, but that kind of went by the wayside with the pandemic. We had a lot of people that had called and they didn't want to wait until we had our next recruitment. So we are taking
you accept
recruitment
new
at all times.
Children,
Yes.
anytime year round,
Yes.
you can
We're
add to
also
the ranks.
looking to, we were affiliated with Keystone Oaks School District back in the day, but that kind of limited us. And now nationally, you're allowed to recruit within a 50-mile radius. So we'd like to open this program possibly in the city or the county and make it more available.
So
I
you're
think
pretty much throughout the South Hills.
it's the majority of our kids are from the
Yeah.
South Hills, right? So, you know, whether we need to go into the schools or have something on TV or, you know, or some kind of presentation outside of word of mouth.
Uniforms. You had mentioned that each of the young Marines has uniform. Is this their responsibility to purchase and maintain uniforms?
Actually,
or?
to maintain, yes. We were fortunate enough that our unit was given some uniforms from the Civil Air Patrol and different people that no longer wear the JROTC. They don't wear the Woodland camis anymore. So we were given, we usually give them their first set of uniforms and they get to exchange it for the, you know, as they grow. Yeah, but it is their job to maintain and keep it, you know, squared away and
So
neat
they
and
each just
clean.
have the one uniform?
They have one uniform, then we have a unit t-shirt. This is our newest unit t-shirt. We have Keystone Young Marines. On the back we have the Keystone symbol for the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. And on our sleeves we wear Sergeant Ryan Lane. He was one of the first young Marines to join the group back in the day. He joined the Marine Corps and was killed in Afghanistan in 2009. His father was our chief of police in Castle Shannon for 17 years. And I believe his brother David lives in Bethel Park. So we honor him always. He was one of the only ones that we've lost, and keeping him, you know, his memory alive, which is a big part of our Veterans Appreciation. So we're ready to take on more kids in the Keystone area. That's why we didn't say Keystone Oaks. We said Keystone Young
Keystone
Marines.
area,
Right.
absolutely on it. Well, what else would you like to share with us? What have we not touched on?
The fact that it's a good, you know, there's nothing bad that could come out of the program. The discipline is the big thing. The parents like to see the discipline at a young age. There's something that all the youths have in common when they come into the program, because they learn to be part of a bigger picture, which is so important in today's world. You know, it's not all about you, you know, that
Right.
kind of thing. So that, to me, is, as a mother, is something that is extremely important to teaching these kids, that they have to consider the welfare of others, know how to treat each other. That kind of thing is not always brought to the table, and there's a lot of issues with it. I hear all the time from our young Marines about how tough school can be with kids and working with people and continue, you know. And I have continued to communicate with kids that were in the program 25 years ago, and the majority of them are all doing well. We taught them all to find something, keep themselves busy, stay occupied. That's the secret. And, you know, I take a lot of pride in that, because we're doing something right, you know. And I'd like to have other kids take advantage of the same situation.
Yeah, sounds like an amazing group.
Another thing what we find with the drills, the kids want to be there. It's not like they're being forced to show up and they don't want to be there. So the participation level is very high and the enthusiasm very high. And they really look forward to being there with their friends and doing an evening of drill and activities.
How long is your meetings usually on
It's
Wednesday?
two and a half hours, 6:30 to 9, 8:30 to 9 or so. Occasionally we do a Saturday event, whether it be a parade or some community service or, you know, veterans function. We've been to a few of the memorial dedications in the Pittsburgh area over the past year. We do a lot of different training. They learn, we had Castleton Fire Department show them fire safety training, and similar to the Boy Scouts, instead of earning badges, they earn ribbon and rank.
Okay.
So they can earn a ribbon if they're a musician. They can get a musician's ribbon. If they're a sport, if they play a sport, they can get a sportsmanship ribbon. There's a ton of ribbons they can earn in the program, and they have a lot of pride wearing those ribbons and showing off what they're all about.
So if people want to contact you, websites, Facebook,
Yes.
phone numbers, which avenue do you prefer?
Well, what we
or
do
you don't
is
care?
I had everything filtered through my information because we didn't always get our mail when we were affiliated with the school. If they want to find out about the Young Marines program, you can go on to the internet and look up www.youngmarines.org. That'll tell you everything about the program that you want to know. There's now access to, you can actually apply right online to join. So my home phone number is on there as the contact, and my email address is radcliffe5@comcast.net. So those three ways you can get a hold of us, and we'll be happy to talk to you and let you know what we can provide you with.
Do you ever do a open house where you just invite people or kids to come out and take a look?
We need to do that. We haven't since we weren't affiliated with the school. We used to do it in school. They had a club day sign up where we had a booth, and kids would come in and apply. But something we need to look into in the near future. Thank you for the advice.
I was there. I was younger. My aunt lives right there. I probably saw you guys.
I am Young Marine recruit Billy Dean.
Okay, well, what's it mean to be a recruit?
A recruit is basically a new person joining like a system or a club,
Right.
and basically learning to be like all the other Young Marines.
Young Marines. And how long does that last? Are you a recruit for a month, 2 months, a couple weeks? How long does it take to be a recruit until you're a Young Marine? Or does that vary?
It depends.
It all depends?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you enjoyed being a recruit?
Mhm.
Can you tell me what got you interested in being a Young Marine?
Well,
What got you to join?
My grandfather served in the Marine Corps, and my brother did Young Marines, and I wanted to kind of pass it on.
Okay. Have you been enjoying it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And who's your handler there?
Her.
Okay. We'll hand her the mic and let her tell you who she is. Hi.
Hi, I'm Young Marine Corporal Rocco.
Okay. And how long have you been a Young Marine?
5 years, I think, going
Okay.
on now.
And then you're the recruit's handler?
Yes, I am.
What's your responsibility?
I'm basically just trying to make sure that she learns everything she needs to know to be a Young Marine. So I'm teaching her how to march, how to do PT, how to be part of a squad and a platoon, how to just some guidebook knowledge that we work through.
Is this the first recruit you've had?
This is the first recruit where I've been the primary handler, yes.
Okay. Does she listen to you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
she's
good?
really good.
Okay.
She's really good.
So when do you think that she'll be moving or graduating
I
to
don't-
become a Young Marine?
we're-
Getting close?
Yeah, we're getting close.
We were thinking about doing it this month, but we just have to warm up on my guidebook and get through the last few stages of the recruit guidebook.
Okay. Is it a lot of studying for the guidebook itself?
A lot.
A lot? Should I
Back
ask
to
you some
school.
questions on the guidebook?
Sure.
Okay. What do you do at the beginning of every week when you get here? What are some of the things that they ask you? You have to memorize.
So first you have to memorize your obligation and your creed, of course.
Okay.
And then you move on to the attention, the parade rest, the Adie's, I think it is. It's Adie's.
Those are all basic drill movements.
Basic drill movements, and then as soon as like the weeks progress, after you do that, it depends on the weather. We go outside and do some drill. Then you come in here and do marching, and we practice marching and all the stages that you do, and then you get on to how you dress, what to dress in the different types of weather, and how to do your hair. Like for girls, you have to have a bun that's like, or at least something that's not touching your shoulders, down to your shoulders. Like I have to put my hair in a ponytail so I can get it off my shoulders.
Okay. And someone that may be watching this who is interested in joining a Young Marines, what would you say to them to talk them into being a Young Marine?
There is this kid in my school, his name's Gavin King. He is trying to join the Marine Corps. He just has to, or not the Marine Corps, the Young Marines. He's just talking to his dad about it. He said he's going to figure it out.
Okay. Well, welcome.
So if you're watching this, Gavin, join Young Marines.
I like that. Okay. Anything else you want to share?
Thank you
That's good. Okay.
for letting me join this.
Thank you. How about you? Anything else you need to add?
I would just say to anyone that's trying to join, take the plunge. It may not be as bad as you think. When I first started, I was looking at it and I thought, oh my God, all we do is physical fitness. No. But yeah, you learn a lot more than just that. And it's not just a pipeline into the Marine Corps, which a lot of people see it as. It's not just that. And it's not just somewhere you come for an hour and a half to do gym all over again. So yeah, just take the leap and you might like what you find.
I have to add a thing. And mostly I joined this to get in shape and to be a better person than all the bullies out there. And I honestly think that if there are any kids who are getting bullied, or if there are any bullies out there who are watching this, this would be the perfect place to own up and see how you treated the people who you treated, and to figure out that you wanted to be treated the way other people. You want to treat people the way you want to be treated. You don't want to treat people like trash and think they're just a small little piece of garbage that you can just kick and punch and throw in the garbage again. But they're a very nice person that's trying to be as good as he or she could possibly be. And if you want to join, it would be very, very good place to learn how to own up to all your mistakes and get over it.
Very well said. Thank you.
Stand by for further instructions. Is that understood?
Yes,
Sergeant. All out.
Get out!
Well, thank you for watching BPTV. I was your host, Andy Amrine, and we enjoyed spending a day here with the Young Marines, seeing what they do, what they're all about. So you interested? Give them a call. I know they would love to have you. So Marines, what do we have to say for the end of the show? Perfect.